Hey everyone, this is Denise, and today we are going to make ice cream. So it is getting hot outside and summer's on the way, and I know after working out, maybe doing some yoga, walking the dog, it's 100 degrees outside, you want to eat ice cream, but you don't want to feel bad about it. So I'm going to be real here. I just got this Ninja Creami machine, and I want to make some whole food, plant-based, vegan, no refined sugar, healthy ice cream. And I don't want to follow recipes. And I think that this machine is the perfect way to do it. So after going on YouTube and looking at everybody's different recipes, I'm just gonna see what I have at home and see how it turns out. Have you join me with this experience. So the Ninja Creami comes with 2 pints like this. I guess 2 cups are in a pint, maybe about half of a liter per pint, if you go by that measurement. And so I'm gonna first mix it up in here. This is, you can use a bowl, but this holds about 4.5 cups, so that should be at least 2 of the pints. And that'll just kind of make it easier to pour it in there. And when you do fill these up, you wanna make sure it's up to this line, and it's a level surface, so that's important. And first I want to tell you some of the things that you can try and use. So to make ice creams in this machine, if you want it to be sweet, you can add really any kind of fruits. So you can add things like fresh strawberries, bananas, especially spotted bananas. This is more sugary tasting than starchy. You can use things like dried cherries. My dried cherries, the only ingredient is cherries. There's no sugar in here. You can use dates. The only ingredients in here are dates. Nice sweetener. You can use things like maple syrup if you want to. Again, we're doing this without butter, cream, sugar, and oils. We're using all these natural whole food products. The one thing I do use sometimes in my smoothies, I have a mango puree that I really like. This one's Mighty Mango, and it's just pureed mangoes. There's other ones with carrots and vegetables in it, which I love. I also am going to probably make one to sweeten it up with these are already cooked in my pressure cooker, some sweet potatoes. So again, these are just all natural whole foods you can use inside your ice cream. So to make it more creamy, you might want to try and add things like, I have these organic raw cashews, and the only ingredient, cashews. If you want to go with a plant-based milk, you can do that, like an almond milk. Avocado. So again, you add avocado, it can make things taste really creamy, and you really won't taste the avocado. Even if you don't like them, add it, try it. So those things are gonna make it more creamy. Now to add a little like oomph into it, you can add things like coffee, or I have wild organic cacao. So again, cacao is the cocoa bean. It does have a little bit of caffeine in it. So if I use this, I won't use much, but instead of chocolate chips, which is sugar, and most of the time, I just use the cacao powder. You can do things like peanut butter powders. I think I showed you this, but I have peanut butter, 100% peanuts. And then you can do things like adding spices. You can add warm spices like cinnamon, ginger, or maybe something to sweet it up like a blueberry and vanilla. So I prefer vanilla powders, but I don't have any right now. And I think I told you maybe lemon, adding the zest of lemons, the zest of oranges, and the juice from it. So I'm gonna be a little careful not to use too much. We don't want our ice cream not to blend well. So for me to get started, I'm just gonna let you know this. I don't like to measure. I'm just gonna fill some stuff up in here and then put it in my pint container. So I might start out with my banana. Once I get to 2 cups, I'll stop. You could blend it up first and then pour it into the container. So I might mush it down a little bit. I might not. I'm gonna add some bananas. So that was one banana. I'm gonna add 2 bananas. This one's not that ripe, but that's okay. I'll still add it. You gotta add what you have at home. That's what makes this something easy to do and not like, you just don't think of it. It's like, oh, that's too hard, I'm not gonna do it. Washed strawberries, gonna just toss some in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how about 7 washed strawberries. And to sweeten it up, I'm gonna use my dried cherries. That's probably about a 1/2 cup. And I think I would like a little bit of lemon in mine. So I already washed this. I'm gonna just scrape some zest. No, that's not really working. So I will put some of the lemon juice in here. Don't want that seed to come out in there. So I'm doing it over my fingers. Catch that seed. I did wash my hands. I sanitized my hands. So now I have this lemon juice in here, which is really nice. Put those seeds in there for now. I don't know. These are unpaper towels. So I just wash them and reuse them. I think that actually looks really good. So, oh, you know what I want to add to this one? I want to add some raw cashews. This is going to make it nice and creamy. So if I'm adding a nut milks are just nuts and water and they're strained. So this is a 1/2 cup of cashews. I'm going to pour them in here. And because I'm not using a plant-based milk, I can just use nuts and then add some water in with it. So I got this water and I'm gonna add probably, let's see, I think just a 1/2 cup. Yep, maybe just a 1/2 cup. Now, I like this so far. It's got bananas, it's got a little lemon juice, strawberries, cherries, and cashews. But I want to spice it up a little bit more by adding some vanilla. So I'm going to take some vanilla, add probably about a 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon. And cinnamon and ginger are both really good for you. So I'm going to add a tiny bit of ginger just to warm it up. Again, you don't have to add spices if you don't want to. I'm gonna add some cinnamon, just kind of looking at it. Now my next one, I'll probably do a cocoa and banana and peanut butter, maybe add that sweet potato to it. But for this one, it's almost up to the 4 cups area, and really don't need to do anything to it. But I'm gonna mush it a little bit, stir it around. You know, honestly, I should have just done this straight in the pint container. The thing with that is, it's gonna stir it in there. You want it level, and that's the hard part. So you've got this, and you've got that line right at the top. So I'm gonna pour this in, all the liquid, and then I'm gonna push it down, because I think they said once you freeze this, if it isn't level, the machine doesn't work that good. So you could have either blended it if you have like a little Ninja bullet or something, but as you can see, I'm kind of pressing it down, and I think I can get it flat. So let's see, I might not add all of it. Mush it down some more. There we go, gotta get that strawberry mushed down. It's gotta be kind of even on the top. Yay, that looks good. So, if you can see, there's a nice evenness to it. And after it freezes, if it's not even, I'll just get a little spoon or something and maybe scrape it off. But I'm pushing all the stuff to the bottom, so there's just like a little bit of liquid level at the top. Oh, so this was easy. So this is gonna be my first ice cream. And we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so now it is all mushed down. There's no berries sticking up. It looks very flat on the top. And then when I put it in the freezer, well, there's one nut that's not sinking. There we go. All right, so I have a little bit left in my container. I probably can't see that, but it's very flat on top. And then I'm gonna freeze this. So here's my next one. And again, it's probably just easier to put in there. There's a little bit left in here, so I'm gonna put my bananas in there, those cherries, those cashews, just to fill it up. And on this one, I'm gonna do it a little bit differently. I wish I had some peanut butter powder, but I don't. Would have made it a little bit easier. This is 100% peanuts. Now the oil on this comes from the actual processing of that peanut, but peanut butter powder kind of takes out all those oils. And again, let's see here. I'm not gonna measure. I'm just gonna pull out some of this peanut butter. And this is probably about 1/4 cup of peanut butter, and I'm gonna dump it in. Maybe we should call this dump ice cream. It's like whatever you have at home. Because you know what, when we follow these recipes, it's like usually we don't have the same stuff everybody else has at home, or we don't, but I think you should try new flavors. I've got my sweet potato. It's already been steamed. I could put the peel in with it, but I don't think I'm going to. Well, maybe a little bit's gonna go in there no matter what. So I'm putting some sweet potato in this one to sweeten it up. And this is gonna be, I'm throwing all that in my sink that's next to me. So now I've got sweet potato in here. That's probably at least 1/2 cup of sweet potato. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna mush this in here. So now I've got peanut butter, I've got sweet potato, and let me wash this off. Okay, and let me think about what else I wanted. This is gonna have a different kind of flavor to it. So I think I'm gonna use a couple of dates. Now, when you use dates, you can use just about 3 dates and it's gonna add a lot of sweetness. They say pitted, but I always check inside because sometimes, every once in a while, you'll get one with a pit in it. Mine are already pitted, so that means they took the seed out, and I'm just cracking them open to make sure, and they're all good. So for this one, I've got enough sweetness with the sweet potato. I've got the dates to sweeten it too. This is gonna be a sweet one. I wanna make this like a chocolate peanut butter flavor. So I am gonna take some cacao powder, probably about a tablespoon I put in there. And that's gonna be so good. And I love vanilla, so I'm just gonna add some vanilla. That was a lot of vanilla, but probably a teaspoon to a tablespoon of vanilla. And I think those are the flavors that are gonna make it taste great. I'm covering this with some water till it gets to the fill line. Adding it there, we're at the fill line. And now I'm gonna go back to just mashing this down because I don't want it mixing that cocoa in. I want it to be flat on top. So again, if I did this in the other container first and just poured it in, it might have been a little bit easier. But again, this is just do it whatever way is easiest. Whatever way is easiest. So this goes right to the fill line, which is really nice. And I know you can't see it from there, but if you could, it looks good already. Like I would eat it probably like this before it even turned to ice cream, but I have to wait and be patient. Okay, so now I've got this one. Kind of looks gross, but I'm sure it will taste good. And just because I like to be a little bit neat, I'm gonna wipe this off the sides a little bit just to make sure I'm off the fill line. There we go. So I don't know if you can maybe see that better. Now it's very flat, it's on the line. And I have my strawberry, blueberry, banana one. I have this one that has those leftovers in it, and it's more of a chocolatey kind of peanut butter flavor. Then you take your lids. Oh, I don't know where the other lid is, right? Oh, there it is. And we put the lids on, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna just stick those in the freezer until tomorrow. Now, 24 hours. So yes, you have to wait, but you know, you could make these ahead of time, and then whenever you're ready, we're gonna use this machine here. So that's part 2, and we'll get to that tomorrow. See y'all soon. What I forgot to mention, and I read the directions, so I should have done that in the beginning. You can't just leave it solid pieces like that. You could if you mushed it down the fruit, or you mushed down the bananas, you mushed down the strawberries a little bit. But since I have dates and some cashews and some of this, I'm gonna use my immersion blender. And you could do this with a masher or anything else. And I'm just gonna mix it a little bit. That's good enough. Now I'm gonna pour it back into the pint container and freeze it for 24 hours. Hey friends, this is Denise, and we are working on our wellness. So it's time to spin. It's the next day. Just got done taking the dog for a walk. It's hot outside, and I want my ice cream. So we're gonna go ahead and do this, our first spin. So I've made 2 of these. I've got one here. Again, these have been in the freezer for 24 hours. This one is a strawberry banana mixture with some cashews, vanilla. I think there's some cherries in there, dried cherries, no sugars at all. And because it's got a little bit of a dome on the top of this, I don't know if you can see it. It says that there shouldn't be like a little dome. So I'm just gonna scrape it flat. And that was really easy to do. So I scraped it flat. Let's taste it without. Okay, it's already really good. You take your container, I've got the lid off of it, and you put it in here. You drop it until it fits into those little crevices on the bottom. Then we take our lid, it has the blade on it. Now, if you want the blade out, you just go ahead and you switch this lid. This little thing should be right in the middle, and then you know that your blade's secure. And we're gonna put this on and then lock it. All done. Now, make sure your machine is turned on, and you kind of just set this in there, and when you twist it, the bottom of it will kind of come up. So we're gonna, there we go, lock it into place. See how it rises up a little bit? Now, since I'm doing this vegan, raw, no sugar ice cream here, I am gonna push light ice cream. Now we might have to do it twice, but we'll see. And it's gonna go for a couple minutes. Now that blade is gonna be working its way down until it hits the bottom, and then it'll start to come back up again. So let's see how this goes. It is kind of loud, but I don't have to be sitting here right next to it either, I guess. I hope it's gonna be good. Let's see, it's 11:03 here right now. So let's see how long this actually takes. And it was hot outside today, so I really need this ice cream. Yeah, this one had dried cherries, some bananas. You can see it starting to work here. Cashews, vanilla, water. Now, if you use a nut milk, you don't have to do the cashews or the water. You can actually just fill it with some almond milk. So that's 1 minute into the processing time. You can see where it's going down. It does look creamy. Strawberries, fresh strawberry just floated around right there. about that. We had lots of fresh strawberries in there. And, oh, cool. So it's at the bottom now. So I assume that's 2 minutes in. That it's going to go all the way back up now. With a big blob. Oh, this one also had some dates. I use dates as a sweetener. Oh, nice. Got my rubber spatula handy. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it basically took 2 minutes. And it was kind of loud, but it worked. So to release it, you hold this button down and then you pull the handle to the front and you take it out. So let's see what we got. To unlock the lid, the little button here, and you just pull it to the side. Oh my goodness, look at this. So let's get a spoon in here. This is what it looks like. It's very creamy. Look at that. Very creamy. There you go. Okay, so this looks nice. I would spin it maybe one more time. If you do, you can use the same spoon because I'm gonna eat it. If you do respin it, you can put this back in the freezer and respin it if you don't eat it all. But you do want to flatten it so you don't mess up your blade. So again, I got it flattened. Now, I have another one right here. I'm gonna do it later because I don't want to eat all this. This one is bananas, peanut butter. It had some of the leftover stuff from this one, so some strawberries, some dates. And so this is gonna be chocolate peanut butter ice cream. This isn't even blended yet with the creamy. So I hope you have fun with this. This is healthy. It's a whole food. It has no artificial colors, no artificial sweeteners, no processed foods. And it probably, to me, it tastes better than ice cream that you can get at the store. So I say go for it. Have fun with it. Have a nice day. Oh wait, let me show my ice cream. Have a nice day.